Hello Chinese foodies and welcome back to the channel. So since we've been introducing so many Chinese things lately, such as Chinese snacks, Chinese utensils, we decided to follow this trend. So today's video is about Chinese drinks and about some unique drinks that you probably have never seen before, but is something that once you try, you'll never be able to forget. So even though we also want to be sponsored, the video today is unfortunately not sponsored by any of the companies in this video. So today's video, just like the snacks video, is also separated between old school and new school drinks. So we're going to start first with the old school drinks. And when you're talking about old school drinks in China, the first one that always comes up is obviously doujiang, or soy milk. Now, soy milk is one of the oldest drinks and most legendary drinks here in China. It's often paired with many breakfast foods, things like youtiao, which is the deep-fried dough sticks, baozi, and other foods like this. Delicious. So typically with soy milk, there's also a little bit of sugar inside. Obviously, if you're on a strict diet, you don't have to add sugar, but sugar adds a little sweetness into it and makes it a little bit more delicious. The reason that it's been drank ever since the Eastern Han Dynasty is because there's a legend saying that there was a kid named Huai Nanzi who used to make fresh ground soy milk every morning for his mother when she was sick. And after she drank it for a while, she suddenly recovered. And so because of this, the kid taught all the people in the village how to make this drink. And from there, everyone started drinking it because they thought that it would help to keep their bodies healthy. So this is a beautiful story, and I wonder who actually started pairing it with regular foods. But whoever did that is a genius, because now it's become legendary in China and people eat it all the time with some of their favorite foods. The last thing I want to mention is that if you're lactose intolerant, this is one of the best drinks you can use as a substitute for milk because it has no lactose and a very high amount of protein. So the next old school drink that we have is actually Tang, sour plum drink. This is very popular among Chinese people, especially in the summer, because the sourness of the drink, they believe, helps you to fight off the heat. It makes you feel a little better, cool down in the summer, and also it increases your appetite. So in those summer days when it's very hot, this helps you to feel more hungry and makes you want to eat more food. It is called sour plum drink, obviously, but when I drank it, I didn't really taste a lot of the sour flavor. It is sour, but for me, it's more sweet than sour. And then at the end, there's sort of a little bit of a smoky flavor. It's kind of like a smoky Chinese medicine type flavor, which I bet is from the flowers that they use. The ingredients in this drink are very simple. It's basically just plums, sugar, and sweet osmanthus flowers. So a very simple drink to make, and if we beg Luca, maybe he can make it for us as well. Wow. And flowers here in China is actually very commonly used to make drinks and things like teas. The reason for that is because flowers are considered very important for different parts of your body in terms of health. So it's believed that Tang was actually invented during the Tang Dynasty. Back then, many street vendors were selling this drink on the streets during the summertime. But it wasn't until the Qing Dynasty until it officially received the name Tang. So the next drink is actually the most famous drink and the most popular drink among Chongqing people when eating hot pot. And that is the cooling tea or herbal tea, Liang Cha. And this brand here is a time-honored brand with a history of over 100 years. Now there are other brands, so we've just chosen one of the ones that's the most popular here in China. And again, this brand did not sponsor our video. Alright, so Liang Cha, or the herbal tea, was actually invented in the southern province of Guangdong. And the reason for that is because in Guangdong, it is hot year-round. The people of that area needed something to help kill the heat during especially those summer months. So I believe the story goes something like this. It's so hot in the summer, I need something to kill the heat. Oh, I know some Chinese medical science. If I add some cooling herbs to this drink, I think I'll feel much better. And then, Liang Cha was invented. This really reminds me of sort of a combination between a light, very small Chinese medicine flavor and the sweet tea from back home. Very sweet, it's very delicious, so I can see why it would be very delicious on a summer day. Yeah, very delicious, this one. So this can of herbal tea that we have today is commercialized, but in Guangdong province, they still have many local herbal tea shops. So there are many varieties of herbal tea, each with its own unique formula. So many of the local tea shops that are still in operation are passed down from generation to generation because of the difficulty of the recipes. Traditionally, herbal tea is actually drank before it's completely cooled down, and they also have a very bitter and sweet taste to it. So some people from out of town, they might be very shocked when they have this drink for the first time because it's not very cold, it's also not very tea-like. But if you have the chance to come to China and you happen to live in Guangdong province, trust me, you cannot live without this drink. Alright guys, so the last old school drink that we're going to talk about today is Chrysanthemum Tea, or 菊花茶. Yes, Chinese people love drinking tea, and this is just like the tea in France, flower tea. Wow. It's a very fresh flavor. Obviously not very sweet because it's a natural tea just made of flour. I can see this as being a good sort of like late morning drink to get a little bit of caffeine and sort of refresh yourself. So this tea dates back to the Tang Dynasty, which is over 1,200 years ago. And now there are over 2,500 kinds of chrysanthemum tea here in China. In southern China, tea houses are also everywhere. For the older generation in those tea houses, one glass of tea and one pack of playing cards can allow them to spend the entire afternoon relaxing and playing with their friends. All right, guys, so we've introduced the old school drinks, which is the soybean milk, we have the sour plum drink, we have the liang cha herbal tea, and the chrysanthemum tea. So now it's time to move on to the new school drinks. All right, so this first new school drink might be the most interesting drink that we've had all day because it's cola, but it also includes a lot of Chinese herbs. That is Tianfu Cola. So the flavor of this really reminds me of Pepsi, to be honest, because of the cola flavor inside. But it's like Pepsi combined with different Chinese herbs. So in 1981, the recipe for Tianfu Cola was created by the then Chongqing beverage factory and the Sichuan Institute of Traditional Chinese Medicine. After this recipe was created, it was confirmed by Tongji University's medical pathology department through an experiment that the recipe is actually effective at resisting aflatoxins. All right, so the next drink we're going to talk about is actually not just one drink, but two drinks. And the reason we're putting them together is because they're both made under the same brand, Wahaha. Wahaha is one of the #1 brands among children who were born in the 90s, especially in terms of drinks. So Wahaha launched the AD calcium milk in 1996, which is a milk-based drink supplemented with vitamin A and vitamin D. After being launched in 1996, in 1997, the sales reached over 1 billion bottles. Later, it became a collective memory among children born in the 1980s and 1990s in mainland China. Not sponsored. Very interesting. The texture is kind of like milk, but there's a vanilla flavor and it's also a little bit sweet. Yeah, quite delicious. And I think it's a very good alternative for maybe some other unhealthier options because it's sweet and delicious, but also, like I said, there's a lot of calcium, vitamin A, and vitamin D. So this is a milk smoothie drink created from the combination of fruit juice and fragrant milk. As soon as it was launched, it became popular among many consumers. In 2013, the total sales of this one drink exceeded 20 billion yuan, which is around $3 billion. So it is a milky texture, a little bit thicker than the AD calcium milk that we had before. And as we saw in the bottle, there's a picture of an apple as well. So there's a very strong sort of apple flavor in there. I can definitely see why it's described by many people as a smoothie. It feels like when you're drinking more like a smoothie than it does actually milk. So last but not least, we have probably the most famous Chinese drink ever, which is Naita. Bubble tea. If you've never heard of bubble tea before, I'm pretty sure you must be living under a rock. This drink originated in Taiwan, but is now spread all across mainland China and even internationally to other countries. I mean, I'm the kind of person that likes to work out and strictly controls my diet, so I don't drink bubble tea very often because I will admit that there is a lot of sugar and a lot of different high-calorie things often inside of bubble tea, but the flavor is absolutely incredible. And there's no one in the world that can deny the fact that bubble tea is delicious. It's a very milky texture, but also a very sweet flavor inside. When you order it from other types of bubble tea stands, you can often add many other types of ingredients. So actually, in this cup, we've added Oreos, we've added some taro balls, and we've also added some coconut flavored pieces. So when you add all those things together, when you drink one sip of bubble tea, there's so many flavors that come out at the same time because of all the different ingredients that you've added. So very delicious, but it must be drinking in moderation. There are two people in Taiwan who both say that they were the creators and inventors of bubble tea. So in order to settle this dispute, the two tea houses even sued each other in court. After 10 years of litigation, the court finally ruled that bubble tea was a new kind of beverage, and it's a non-patented commodity. But because neither of the two stores had applied for patent rights or trademark rights, many other stores started popping up all over Taiwan, where they were creating their own versions of this bubble tea. And then it slowly became popular worldwide. All right, guys, so thank you so much for watching all the way to the end of the video. I hope that you were able to learn something today, and I hope that you'll take some of this knowledge and use it in your daily life. Maybe go and try some of these drinks. If there's anything specific that you want to see in some of our upcoming videos, please feel free to leave a comment. And also, if you like this video, please give us a like and a thumbs up. We love to hear from you guys. We love the positive energy, and we appreciate all the likes that you give us. Don't forget to turn on the notification bell to see when we're going to post the next video. and we'll see you in the next one. So thanks guys, and we'll see you again.